everybody, it's Mary Ellen from Create With Me. I'm here in the nest, and today it's Tuesday, so it's time for Teach Me Tuesday. And I've got something to show you that's new in the catalog. So we're going to talk about the new gilded leafing and the heat and stick powder and some other ways to use the gilded leafing to just jazz up your projects and just bring home the gold. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you down to my table here and show you where you can find that in the catalog. On page 32 and 33, it's in the Fine Art Floral suite of products. It is the gilded leafing embellishment, and then we're going to talk a little bit about heat and stick powder there on that page. So that's where you'll find these products. So let's go ahead and get started with some ways to use it. So I know that there's been a little bit of talk online about the heat and stick powder, which we did used to carry. And some people say, oh, the old is better, the new is better. They're both good. If you have some tips and tricks and know how to use them, then you're not going to have any problem. So if you have this from before, it's perfectly fine. If you have this one, it's perfectly fine. They work great. If you just have a few tips, and I'm going to share those with you today. So I'm going to start with just the basic way to go ahead and use the gilding with the heat and stick powder, and then I'm going to show you a couple other ways using a couple different adhesives that we have that you might not have thought about. So I've got a black piece of paper here just because I think you can see the melting of the heat and stick powder a little bit better, and I'm going to actually try to zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in a little. Sometimes I can, and hold on, I'm going to take you back to my face a minute. I have to zoom in when I'm not on the live. So let me see if I can do that for you. Come on. Okay, well, I'm having difficulty as usual, so I'll just hold it up when it comes time for that. So I've got a little stamp here. This is a little floral from the Love Always suite, and what you're going to need is some Versamark and a stamp. You're going to need your gilded gold gilding leafing. And what I've done is here's the container that it comes in, and I actually put it in a container that's a little bit bigger. I just find that using it out of here, sometimes it's got some static. It kind of puffs up. So putting it in just a different container has really helped me. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And so see, it doesn't stick there, and it's easy for me to get to. So I'm going to start with by stamping up my floral image in a Versamark and stamping it onto my black cardstock. I'm going to use my heat and stick powder, and I'm going to cover that image, and then I'll put most of that powder back. Okay, I'm going to clean up this. I'm going to move my gold leafing out because I'm going to go ahead and use my heat gun, and I don't want to have that blow that gold leafing because it is just 24 karat gold. It's super, super light. So put that back in there and set that aside. I'll just leave this here so it helps. So when you're heating with your heat and stick, when you're heating with your heat tool with heat and stick powder, the secret is that as soon as it melts, stop. Don't keep going over it because you'll lose your stickiness. So I always start my gun, and then I'm hold my hand here until I know that it's good and hot. Okay, and then now it's ready. My hand can hardly hold it. I'm going to hold this up, and I'm going to heat it. As soon as it's done there, we're done. Okay, no more. We're not going to go anymore. We're going to just stop right there. Then get our gold leafing out. A little piece flew out. So now you can use your fingers. You can use a paper piercing tool if you want. I just like to use my fingers. And I'm going to dot that gold leafing onto that image and then press down. You can use a couple different tools to you can use your finger. Works really great. I found that these sponges work about the best of anything. And you can just sponge that off. And I press it down a little bit. So there's your Gilded image, okay? And then I want to show you what I did with one. Let me put my gilding back in. This will last forever and ever. It just keeps on giving. So there's this, and then you can go ahead and take your I took some StazOn ink and I took the outline and I just stamped right over it. So you can see how I stamped right over it in StazOn ink. Now I could go ahead and die cut that out and I've got a little gold flower. So that would be just taking this, stamping over it in StazOn, and there I've done it on white paper just so you can see, okay? All right, so the other way that I like to do it is I'm going to bring in some Granny Apple green paper and I'm going to bring in some tear and tape. Okay, and I like to use my tear and tape as my adhesive for my gilded leafing. So I'm just gonna lay down a couple stripes here with my tear and tape. See if I got that almost all the way, but not quite. Then I usually take my snips. Did I bring snips over here? No, that's okay. I'm gonna fold this on the back of itself. And then take the tear and tape the peel off. And then you can do the same thing by just laying down your gold leafing. It's okay if I put a lot on there because I'm going to put all the extra right back into my, see how light and fluffy it is? It wants to blow away. Because I can put that right back into my container when I'm done. So you're going to kind of smear it on. Use your finger. Tap off the excess. It's going to look messy, but we're going to clean it up. I'm going to put this back into my container. There we go. And then now's when I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to clean that up. See how clean that comes? So there I've got just some gilded stripes on my paper. So that's a fun way to use it. You can just use your fingers to wipe that off. So that's our second way. And then I want to show you one other fun way to use it. I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to get out some dies and I'm going to get out a piece of paper. Whoops. And I'm going to get out our adhesive sheets. So this might not be something that you've thought about. And so what you can do is you can take our adhesive sheets. They come in little strips. They'll separate just like that. And I like to peel the strip up, put my piece of paper down on the backing, and then, hold on, I'm going to actually do it right in the middle. And then I can lay that on there with my bone folder. I can press that on. Do you have scissors over there? Well, they're not paper snips, but we've got scissors, so. And then I just like to cut that off. Okay, so there's my backing, and then I can keep this for a future project. So I've got adhesive on there, and what I do is I take my die. Hopefully I didn't cut myself. I did cut myself just a little short, didn't I? I should have gone the other way, but that's okay. I think you'll get the point. Let me actually, did I bring the other die over here? The love? No. Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway, and you'll get the point. So I'm going to run this through my embosser. Well, cutting that off. I got that just a little long. I'm going to run it through like this. This is just my mini boss. Splitting that in half. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Sometimes it's easier if you just offset your plates just a smidge. Okay, and then I like to peel this up without taking anything off. So I kind of poke at the little holes. I want to keep my adhesive and my piece here all as one piece. So I'm going to slowly remove that. This one cut This one cut really good. Okay. Well, I like to usually leave it in there because it's just a little easier to work with. But that's okay. You'll understand the point of it. So then I remove the adhesive covering with my paper piercing tool. You can take your pick tool. Should come off really easily. This example is not going to be the best, but I'll show you a finished card with it. So then I'm going to take my gold leafing, and again, I can just kind of smush it on, covering up my project. Kind of going crazy here, but I want to get all my adhesive covered up. Okay, tap that off, get the excess off. Okay, and then I'm going to use my sponge to clean up that extra. You're just going to take your time. Takes just a minute, but it's going to give you a really pretty, like half of the image, or you could do the whole image. I just was going for half the image just to show you a two-tone. So you see how nicely that's gilded that image right there. You can clean it up a little bit. I've got a little bit of places that I can go ahead and clean up with my sponge, get rid of this, and then I've got my always here. So let me show you what that would look like if I put my image on the background. So it looks like this. So there I've got half of the gold and then half of the cardstock, and then I laid it on the background. This is from Love Always, or Love You Always suite out of the new January to June mini catalog. And then I've got a card here that I finished using it. So here I've used both techniques. I've used both. I've used the tear and tape here on my card, and then I've used the gilding there on the Always, and gilded half of the Always, and then finished it up with some embossing here and some of the gold ribbon. And so there is 3 different ways to use your gilded leafing. And my biggest tip is when you're using the heat and stick powder to as soon as it melts, stop. Don't go over, or it just will lose its stickiness. It just does not work. So let me put you back at my face. I'm going to give you my website. It's createwithme.stampinup.net, and I've got a host code there, and there's the numbers for the gilded leafing and the heat and stick powder. And as always, I love it if you like and share. That helps me. And the last thing I want to say is that the next video that I promised on the Stamparatus will be going up here shortly, so watch for that on Create With Me, my Facebook business page. I will send the link there, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Create With Me, and you'll be notified when the videos go live. So I've got, this is video number 4 out of a 6-part series, and this is on using it with your die cuts, I believe. So go ahead and watch for that. And if you have any questions about the gold leafing, the gilding, or the heat and stick powder, I'm here to help you. So have a great day, everybody.